Don't do this if you're afraid of heights. So we drove out as fast as we can. Luckily we didn't get stuck. We were a little terrified. Hey guys, welcome to another adventure with Ruins and Ridges. Today we are climbing Cabezon Peak, and it looks basically like a mountain on top of a hill. You might have heard of Devil's Tower in Wyoming, and this was formed basically the same way. You can see some basalt columns on the cliff there, just along the road. It's a piece of obsidian that might be a piece of an arrowhead. This certainly looked like a shaped piece of obsidian. The cows also greeted us along the road. This area is very volcanic. All of these little mountains are called volcanic plugs. And if it doesn't start pouring down, and if we have time, we're going to climb this one. Everywhere we look, we see these little centipedes. There's like 200 just in one little area. Even some are crawling up the cactus. They're everywhere. You can see there's 4 there. There's a bigger one right there. It's probably about 8 inches long. It's a little bit creepy because basically everywhere you step is another giant centipede. We've reached the first hill, and now we have the main mountain to climb. Those cliffs are like 600 feet high, and you can see the columns of basalt. As the lava flow cooled, it cracked and formed these hexagon columns. This is very impressive, and also you can see that little chimney. Now we're going to try to climb up. This is the turnoff to get to the peak. You can actually make a loop hike around the whole entire peak, but we are going to try to climb it. This is the first section of actual rock climbing. It's a little class 3 scramble. Not bad, just steep. So this is the chimney, and a lot of people call it the hardest part. It doesn't look that bad, actually. This right here is the hardest part, so let me see. This is a little bit sketchy. Now we're in the chimney itself. A few little climbing sections here and there. We just came up that chimney there. We were a little terrified because it's just vertical for like 50 feet. But we took our time, made sure we were grabbing onto solid stuff. It's really not that difficult, just scary. It's a lot scarier than if you heard of Thunder Mountain or Capitol Butte in Sedona. It's more solid, but scarier. I think we made it through the difficult stuff, but we just gotta traverse around here, and it's a pretty big drop-off. The prominence of Cabezon Peak is about 1,500 feet. There are many other volcanic plugs in this volcanic field. They are between 2.5 to 4 million years old. A volcanic plug is an eroded volcano. Some of the more well-known volcanic plugs in North America are Devil's Tower in Wyoming, Morro Rock, California, and Shiprock, New Mexico. There is even a volcanic plug inside the Colorado River in the Grand Canyon. Cabezon, which means big head in Spanish, peaks at 7,785 feet above sea level. Cabezon Peak is the 6th most prominent volcanic plug in the United States of America. Well, we made it to the final section of climbing. You can see an arrow, and this is the ramp. It's actually not exposed, it's just very slippery. I cannot recommend this hike to anyone who is scared of heights or who has never had any experience, because some places are very exposed. I mean, the rock is solid, so it's not that bad, but yeah, don't do this if you're afraid of heights. That looks like the summit up there. Spiral of rock. And there is the summit register. The views from here are just amazing. So we're gonna head down now. I'm not gonna film too much, maybe a few of the sketchier sections. I did not film anything on the descent of Cabezon Peak as we had to stay focused on the down climbing. Next up, we are attempting to climb a second volcanic plug called Cerro de Guadalupe. We were headed up the hill when a giant dust storm started coming our way, so we packed up our cameras and ran down back to the car. These cows were blocking the road, so we had to honk at them a couple of times. The valley at the base of these volcanoes was used for grazing animals since the 1800s, and at one time had 240,000 sheep and 9,000 cows. The road here is just pure water. So to describe what happened, we had to run off the mountain, come back to the car, and the haboob turned into a rainstorm. So it started pouring down, and then the road started getting muddy, so we drove out as fast as we can. Luckily we didn't get stuck, but even the paved road is very flooded. Anyway, thank you for watching, and please let me know your... My microphone just died, but I was trying to say thank you for watching, and please let me know your favorite part was in the comments.